Hey, Hannah Mouse One here. A bit of a different video for this week. I went on holiday with my parents for the October half term, so I figured that I would make a bit of a blog of everything I got up to on the journey, just because otherwise I just wouldn't have time to get a video out to you guys for this week. This was a maritime themed holiday where we did a whistle stop tour of several cities with a rich history of shipping or ship making. First stop, Liverpool. To get from my hometown of Swindon to Liverpool, we went by train. Leaving at 12:30 on Saturday the 25th of October from Swindon Station, we had to get the train first to Cheltenham Spa, then to Birmingham, and then to Liverpool. Before I got on the train, I had bought these two Maria Elizabeth dessert plush blind boxes, so let's just crack these open. In the first box I got Sprinkle Panda, and in the second I got Shelly. I'm really happy to have gotten two different ones, and they're different to the one that I already have, which is the Pickle Cupcake. We had a bit of a delay in Birmingham. Two trains got cancelled due to something being stuck in the overhead wires, but we soon got back on track, if you'll excuse the pun. Besides, what's a trip using the British Railway network without a spot of bother? When we eventually got to Liverpool, we walked over to the hotel, which was actually really nice. It had a great view with this massive Ferris wheel and a view of the Mersey River, and while it isn't exactly glamorous, we had dinner on this first night at Jollibee's, which I'd never been to before and honestly didn't even know they had in the UK. I had a double cheeseburger and in my opinion, well, it's better than McDonald's. Although I really don't like the burgers in Mackie D's, so I guess it's a tough comparison. I really like the Liverpool city centre. It's alive and bustling in a way that Swindon could never be. Swindon town centre is dodgy as hell, especially on a Saturday night, but Liverpool also isn't overbearing in the way a city like London is. The next morning, after enjoying a buffet style breakfast, we all went on a Mersey riverboat tour where they point out key structures such as the Three Graces, the Liver Building, the Cunard Building, and the Port of Liverpool Building, the Hills Dickinson Football Stadium, which is the new home of Everton, and the Camel Laird Shipyard, and then we hit up the Liverpool Museum. We wanted to go to the Maritime Museum, but they're doing a massive refurbishment project on that right now, but the more generic museum still had a lot of exhibits that I found super interesting. Then we just marvelled at some of the city's beautiful architecture, especially its gorgeous cathedrals, before heading back to the train station. Mum left us at this point to go to London, while Dad and I headed under the river to Birkenhead to catch an overnight Stena Line ferry to Belfast in Northern Ireland. We went up on the top deck as the ferry set off, and the wind was so strong. I'm surprised they even let you up there. I went to sleep with the sea at quite a chop and woke to the still calm of its berth in Belfast. In Belfast, we headed over to the Titanic Museum. Ocean liners are a massive interest for me, and Titanic is far and away the most famous of these. We also looked around the SS Nomadic, which was one of Titanic's tender boats in Cherbourg. In the evening, we went to a pub opposite the hotel, and I was just blown away by the atmosphere. Pubs back home are all but dead, but this pub was bustling with people, many of whom were clearly regulars. There was live music, which I really loved, especially the folk songs he covered, and I just thought the atmosphere was great. The next day was a travelling day, first to Dublin, where we went on a bit of a walk before catching the train straight onto the Rosslare Europort, where we passed a bit of time before our ferry by enjoying a hot chocolate and an ocean view on the beach. Then we got onto the ferry, which was going to be our home away from home for near enough 20 hours. The first hour was rough, but after that the sea calmed down a fair bit, and overall it was quite a nice journey. It was a fairly long walk to the hotel from the ferry terminal, and once we got there we scranned a McDonald's before having an early night, and I need to rant about this. Why is French McDonald's just better than it is in the UK? The only way I can explain it is that it's what I imagined McDonald's would taste like before I first tried McDonald's. Is it world-class cuisine? No, of course it's not, but it actually tastes like food. Like the burger buns aren't soggy, the meat is juicy, and I actually felt full up after eating it, which I never do after eating Mackey's in the UK. Come on England, the French are showing us up here. And speaking of the French showing us up, the next day we did a quick visit to the Cité de la Mer Maritime Museum. We only had an hour or so to spend there, but honestly you could spend a whole day there. We only had time to do the Titanic and submarine sections, but it might very well be the best Titanic themed exhibition I've ever been to. So much of it was immersive and interactive, and it wasn't just reading, and everything to the furnishings of the floorings were so carefully thought out to take you right into that world. And as a part of the submarine exhibition, you can look about the Redoutable nuclear submarine, which is so cool. But all too soon we had to dash out of there to get the ferry back to Blighty. And in our final stop, Portsmouth, we went to the historical dockyard. There's way too much stuff to do there for one day, so we just went around the Mary Rose Museum, and after a quick lunch in boathouse number 4, we walked around M33, a warship that was used in the disastrous Dardanelles campaign in World War I. There's so much other stuff here, and luckily we have an annual pass, and Portsmouth isn't actually too far far away from home, so we will definitely be going back to look at other things. But that brought the trip to a close as we took the train back home to Swindon. And apart from that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you did. Join the Discord link down below, and I will see you next week with another video. Goodbye.